and the role of youth in politics and the responsibility that comes with it. The youth of any nation are not just the leaders of tomorrow. They are partners in leadership.
The summit is part of ADC's broader strategy to consolidate its structure and mobilize nationwide support as political activities ahead of the 2027 elections continue to gather momentum. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has described the Court of Appeal judgment on the People's Democratic Party's Ibadan Convention as a victory for the rule of law. Wike stated this while reacting to the court's decision, which nullified the convention and dismissed several related appeals. Kabir Hassan reports.
Speaking in Abuja, the FCT minister said the ruling highlights the importance of strict compliance and statutory provisions, the Electoral Act, and the party's constitution. He explained that once such laws are violated, the matters can no longer be regarded as internal affairs of the party. Wike also called on party members to put aside personal interests and work toward reconciliation.
For me, the opportunity, let everybody come back. Let's sit down. Leave your ego. Leave your personal interests. Come back. Let's sit down. Now we're here. Can we see how we can forge ahead?
The minister warned that further legal battles could harm the party, especially with the party primaries expected to begin in April and May. He noted that the court ruling effectively nullified the Ibadan Convention and confirmed that the tenure of previous party officers has expired. According to him, the National Caretaker Committee remains the legally recognized body managing the party affairs.
It is very clear that there was no convention, and the tenure of the officer they expired. You cannot allow a vacuum.
Wike also disclosed that party preparations are underway for a fresh national convention scheduled for March 29 and 30th in Abuja, with the velodrome near the National Stadium selected as the venue. He added that the dismissal of multiple appeals with financial penalties serve as a reminder that compliance with the law remains essential in political processes. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Sunday Kelvin Aneke, has called for stronger collaboration between the Nigerian Air Force and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, to deepen research, manpower development, and medical training. The Air Chief made the call during a courtesy visit to the headquarters of TED Fund in Abuja. Priscilla Obasi tells us more.
The visit brought together top officials of TED Fund and members of the Nigerian Air Force delegation. Chief of Air Staff, Sunday Kelvin Aneke, commended the fund for its sustained intervention in Air Force educational institutions, particularly the Air Force Institute of Technology. He described TED Fund as a strategic partner in strengthening infrastructure and human capital development within the Air Force education system.
For the Nigerian Air Force, TED Fund has remained a long-standing strategic partner. Over the years, the fund's intervention in the Air Force Institute of Technology have been truly remarkable and impactful. Indeed, the support received from TED Fund has significantly enhanced the Institute's ability to deliver on its mandate as the Nigerian Air Force premier technical training institution and to contribute to meaningful national development.
Aneke noted that the Air Force Institute of Technology has evolved into a leading center for aviation and aerospace studies in Nigeria, attributing its progress partly to TED Fund interventions. He also sought support for emerging areas such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and the development of the Nigerian Air Force School of Medical Sciences and Aviation Medicine.
As we look towards the future, we believe there are still several areas, we are like Oliver Twist, we always ask for more, where TED Fund's intervention will further strengthen AFIT's ability to contribute to national technological advancement. In this regard, we respectfully seek TED Fund's contribution for support in development of an artificial intelligence and robotic laboratory at AFIT.
Responding, the Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Sonny Echono, commended the Nigerian Air Force for its contribution to national security and healthcare services. He noted that several of the requests presented by the Air Force have already been captured in its TETFund's intervention plans, including infrastructure and accommodation support for the Air Force Institute of Technology.
I want to again assure you that you find in us worthy partners. We'll continue to provide the environment for proper teaching and learning. We'll continue to improve the global competitiveness of our tertiary institutions.
Both institutions expressed optimism that strengthened collaboration will advance research, education, and national development. Priscilla Obasi, reporting for Global Television News.
The Federal High Court today in Abuja adjourned the alleged terrorism financing and illegal possession of firearms case against former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, until April 15th and 16th. The defendants were present in court when the matter came up before Justice Joyce Abdul Malik. At the proceedings, Mr. Akinlolu Kehinde San, who appeared for the prosecution, informed the court that the case was scheduled for hearing. Retirees of the Federal Civil Service under the auspices of Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme have commended the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for paying attention to their welfare. The pensioners, at a mega rally held at the mini campus of the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, commended the present administration for the attention paid to their welfare, especially in terms of the prompt payment of their entitlement. The rally attracted thousands of members from adjoining states of Kogi, Ekiti, Osun, Oyo, Edo, and some southeast states. The Kwara State Chairman of Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme, Dr. Henry Omotosho, said the event was organized to express appreciation to President for what he has done for the retirees. Over now to the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, has pledged to capture back all communities overrun by bandits in Kwara State and in other parts of Nigeria. Disu made the assurance in Ilorin, Kwara State, while addressing policemen at the State Police Headquarters in Ilorin. He, however, exonerated some Fulani herdsmen from banditry and kidnap for ransom. The Inspector General promised to put the welfare of police at the front burner of his administration. Residents of Potoskum local government area of Yobe State have decried the abandonment of the Accident and Emergency Unit project at the Potoskum Specialist Hospital several years after construction began. The project, sponsored by the member representing Nageri Potoskum Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Fatima Talba, is aimed at improving emergency healthcare services in Potoskum. However, years after the project commenced, the facility has remained uncompleted, raising concerns among residents about the implications for emergency medical care in the area. You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. News Prime continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome. Temperatures are continuing to rise nationwide. From our ground observations, some of the highest readings are expected across the northeast, with Jalingo and Yola reaching around 42 degrees Celsius, making them among the hottest spots for today. Now, if we look at the heat index, it shows a growing likelihood of heat stress and thermal discomfort across many areas within the country. So it's important to take a few precautions. Wear light, breathable clothing, stay in a well-ventilated environment, drink lots of water, and try to limit outdoor activities during the hottest part of the afternoon. Moving to the forecast details, across the northern region, conditions will be mostly sunny, while the central state, however, we are already seeing signs of cloud development. As the day progresses, these clouds could trigger isolated thunderstorms, particularly over parts of Kwara, Niger, the Federal Capital Territory, some parts of Nasarawa and Benue. Further south, morning rainfall is possible over parts of Lagos, Ondo, and Ogun State. As we move later into the day, thunderstorms may extend along the coastal belt of the country, including Edo and Ondo states. And that's the latest weather outlook. Stay cool and have a pleasant day. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the federal government, in collaboration with the World Bank and key stakeholders, have commenced the validation of 9 strategic catchment management plans aimed at strengthening sustainable water resources management, restoring degraded landscapes, and improving climate resilience across several states in Nigeria. Speaking at the workshop for the presentation and validation of 9 strategic catchment management plans, Managing Director of Metcon Engineering and Service Limited, Chuka Ofodili, explained that the catchment represent natural watershed boundaries whose development must be driven by water resources within them. According to him, what these catchments are natural waters, what are called watershed boundaries, and these watershed boundaries are economic zones propelled centrally by the water resources within them, and these water resources determine the future of the catchment. Nigerians have expressed worry over the rise in the price of premium motor spirit to 1,400 naira per litre and automotive gas oil diesel to 1,750 naira after Dangote Refinery hiked its gallantry fuel price to 1,175 naira per litre for petrol. Reports indicate that Run Oil and other filling stations in Abuja and Emirons have raised their petrol and diesel prices to between 1,350 naira and 1,400 naira per litre. Meanwhile, MRS filling stations sell fuel at 1,200 naira per litre. More than 100,000 airport access cards have been issued to motorists across the country as part of efforts to implement the federal government's cashless policy at airport toll gates. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubumi Kuku, revealed that 62,000 of the cards were issued within just 3 days of enforcing the cashless policy at airports, a development that turned chaotic as the rollout of the policy at major airports triggered disruptions. The development comes as motorists have continued to enjoy free access into Nigerian airports for the past 5 days after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered that the airport gates be thrown open in response to the disruption caused by the policy's enforcement. On the foreign scene now, the United States Embassy in Nigeria has issued a security alert warning of a possible threat targeting U.S. government facilities and American-affiliated schools in the country. In an advisory release, the embassy urged U.S. citizens in Nigeria to remain vigilant and take precautionary measures. Despite the warning, the embassy said consular service will continue as normal at its mission in Abuja and at the U.S. consulate in Lagos. Some schools in Pakistan have shifted to online schooling as government introduces a set of austerity measures designed to save fuel. As oil prices soar due to U.S.-Israel war on Iran, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif made the announcement amid global impact of U.S. and Israel war with Iran. Zaral Nasru tells us more.
Oil prices have jumped above $100 a barrel for the first time since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, as Iran launched retaliatory strikes at crude-producing Gulf nations. Pakistan Defense and Oil and Gas from the Gulf last Friday hiked prices at the pump by about 20%, triggering long lines at petrol stations across the country. Prime Minister Sharif, who described the decision as difficult, said he was keen to avoid further increases that will hit the population, many of whom live in poverty. School holidays have been extended, with lessons moving online after 2 weeks. This father shares his experience in the face of the prevalent challenge.
They should not close for a long time because it suffers a lot. The students, they should think like to close the school for 2 to 3 days, not for all the weeks. Not for 2 to 3 weeks because that can suffer the studies of these small kids. Our situation should not be affected by the world like situations. The world is already like in bad situation, but we in our country we should have some good system that people cannot be affected from those circumstances.
At a meeting on Monday, the Prime Minister said Ministers have agreed to try to prevent the situation from worsening and had agreed that the government offices, except banks, should move to a 4-day week with half of all staff ordered to work from home. Fuel allowances for official vehicles, except ambulances, have been cut by 50% for the next 2 months. Zahra Unasir, reporting for Global TV.
Sports desk, now Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has moved to the top of the player of the match leaderboard in the UEFA Champions League following a series of impressive performances by Galatasaray SK this season. According to a post obtained from UEFA's X handle today, the Super Eagles forward currently leads the standings with 4 men of the match awards, the most by any player in the competition so far. His latest recognition comes after a standout display against Juventus FC, where he scored a crucial goal to help Galatasaray secure a dramatic 7-5 aggregate victory and advance to the round of 16. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a recap of our top stories again. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally transmitted the 2026 budget for the Federal Capital Territory to the Senate, along with requests for approval of several key federal appointments. And in business, Nigerians have expressed worry over the rise in the price of premium motor spirit to 1,400 naira per litre and automotive gas oil diesel to 1,750 naira after Dangote refinery hiked its gantry fuel price to 1,175 naira per litre for petrol. And on the foreign scene, some schools in Pakistan have shifted to online schooling as the government introduces a set of austerity measures designed to save fuel as oil prices soar due to U.S.-Israel war in Iran. And in sports, Nigerian senior women's football team, the Tigers, have begun training in France ahead of the FIBA Women's Football World Cup qualifying tournament 2026, which starts on Wednesday in Lyon. Now that's it on News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.